Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to episode 18 of Love at First Scent with me, Persolaise, coming to you on this Sunday afternoon on YouTube live. And as per usual, I think we should start by smelling a perfume. And I would like to start in a way kind of where we left off from Friday's episode. Some of you will be aware that the last episode of Love at First Scent was just on Friday. Reza says hello, sir. A massive hello to you as well. And Reza, actually, thank you for reminding me that I just need to go onto my tablet and make sure that everything is working properly so that I can see all the comments that people might leave. And I always forget how this works. Here we go. Right, okay. I would like to start in a way kind of where we left off. Nice to see you as well. Well, I don't see you, but you know what I mean. Nice to see your comments. On Friday, I tried Wander Through the Parks, one of the new trio from Miller Harris, and I said that the one that I'm most uncertain about at the moment is this blue one here, which is called Hidden on the Rooftops, and it's the only one of this trio is that's by Bertrand Duchaufour, and as a lot of you will know, I'm quite a big fan of Duchauffour's work. I'm not the only fan of Duchauffour's work, but when I first smelt this, I thought that actually it was the least surprising, the least bold maybe of the trio. Bill says bonjour from Paris. I'm going to say hello to all of you in a sec, so please keep the comments coming, and then I will have a look at what people have been writing, and I will respond to all of you. So I thought I'd start with this just to see if I get any closer to an understanding of it. This is Hidden on the Rooftops, one of the new trio inspired by foraging. If you want to find out the Miller Harris line on why they've decided to make scents inspired by foraging, then check out episode 17 of Love at First Scent, which is now on YouTube as well. You'll find it on the YouTube channel and you'll find it on Facebook. So I won't read that bit of the press release again today, but I will read the bit to do with this particular scent. And just labeling the blotter. Here we go. First episode for today. Hidden on the Rooftops from Miller Harris. Let's pop that there. Is that going to be safe? Right, okay. Right, and I'm already getting the thing that I got initially. And maybe I just didn't spend enough time with it. I don't know. But it starts off as a very well done, very pleasant, fairly straightforward citrus. Maybe mandarin, maybe grapefruit. And it's not even especially holographic. That's the word that I tend to use. It's almost like my little benchmark for whether I consider a citrus. I will answer that one comment, Christine. Are you the only one seeing this back to front? No. YouTube, unfortunately, broadcasts live in this way. It's really annoying. No, it's not just you. So yes, when I hold this up, you are not seeing it correctly. But when it then gets permanently uploaded to YouTube for people to watch afterwards, YouTube does flip it the right way around. I don't know why the live stream can't go the right way around. It does on Facebook. Really, really sorry, but it's not you. It's not me. It's YouTube. So back to this. Yeah, and I'm sort of struggling to see or to smell what is particularly different or interesting about this one. What was I saying about holographic scents? So, for example, for me, the sort of high point of a citrus cologne is something like Cologne Bigarade from Frederic Malle, composed by Jean-Claude Eleanor, where you spray it and it's almost like you are plunging headlong into a massive bowl of, citrus fruit, where you've got these like citrus Oompa Loompas squeezing the zest and to get the oil out of it, and you're just seeing all of this stuff in front of you. That doesn't particularly happen with Hidden on the Rooftops. Maybe that's not the intention. There is a kind of incense note coming through, as per usual with Duchaufour. A greenness, I suppose, which would go with the idea of foraging. But again, I'm not overly wowed. I mean, I will spend some more time with it, just to be fair to it. I don't know. It's so hidden on the rooftops that you can't even make out what it is. Let's have a look at the press release, actually, because I'm being very, very vague about it. Let's have a look. Right, hidden on the rooftops. As in the case of all three of them, this one comes with a little poem. So let's see if the poem helps us. Hidden on the rooftops. A trove of privet and violet, lure for the bees they call bumbling and yet far more wise than I. My companions flicker through the fauna, utterly in the pollinating present, panning for golden nectar. Now, one thing I know, I'm just making sure that I'm not just going to repeat myself. No, it's not really in the press release. This perfume was partly inspired by the fact that there are many, many more beehives on the rooftops of London than most people would ever imagine. As the scientists out there, I'm not a scientist, as the scientists out there will probably be able to attest, bees are extremely important to our ecosystem, and a lot of people, biologists, are worried about the decline in bee populations. And so there is this drive in a lot of cities, in a lot of locations around the planet to create environments that are bee friendly. And people, for instance, are encouraged not to cut their grass quite as frequently as they might like to, just to give the bees an opportunity to find something attractive in the garden that would then enable them to live and to thrive. So I know that this perfume is meant to be based on the idea of pollen and bees, maybe honey, but it's kind of not doing it for me. It's very, very, very pleasant, but I normally expect things to be a bit more layered, a bit more complex from Du Chauffour. Maybe I'm just missing it. Maybe I'm not getting it. If any of you out there have tried this, please let me know if you think I'm completely missing the point with this one. And then a little bit of a blurb from the press release. High above the city, London is home to countless hives of diligent honeybees. A whoosh of fresh honeyed floral sea leads you to the crisp green privet of a hidden rooftop garden. I can think of more convincing, richer honey scents. The hazy yellow sun warms new flowers. Motes of pollen and seed buds dance lazily. Okay, I will give it the fact that there is a sort of laziness to it. There is a sort of stickiness to it. It does actually almost feel like the scent of a day like today, which outside this window is yet another really, really muggy day. For those of you in the UK, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The temperatures are really quite relentless here at the moment. List of notes: bergamot, lime, violet leaf absolute, clary sage, black pepper, privet flower, pollen, honey, honeysuckle, Turkish rose oil. Well, you can just about name lots of things if you wanted to. And the lasting impressions are vetiver, ambergris, sandalwood, driftwood, and musk. So, I don't know. I really like Hidden. Really, really love the edginess of Hidden. And Lost is a really great pink rhubarb. But I think I'm going to reserve judgment on this one and come back to it. Right. It is at this point, after we've done the first perfume, where I actually look at the time in front of me and think, where on earth have the last 9 minutes gone, that I properly say hello to you. So thank you very much to all of you for tuning in to episode 18 of Love at First Scent with me, Persolaise, which is here on YouTube, but it will be transferred or linked to from my Facebook page as well. So if you're watching on Facebook after the live broadcast, thank you very much indeed. Please feel free to give me hearts and likes and thumbs up and boos if you feel so inclined. And ask questions and leave comments. I will always try to answer all of them. Let's see what people have been saying so far. Okay, because, come on, let me see the other comments. Right, this is really annoying. I can't actually see all the comments now. Why do they make this so difficult? Okay, to everybody that said hello, and I haven't had a chance to see whether you've said hello, hello back. The last one I can see just about on the top of the page is from Bill saying bonjour from Paris. Bonjour to you as well. Is it really hot there as well too? Tuning in live after many episodes, says Reza. Thank you very much indeed. Hello from Singapore, Angeline. Great to see a comment from you here as well, Angeline. And thank you very much, because I don't know what time it must be over there. Christine, I already answered your comment. I don't know if you got my answer. No, you're not the only one seeing this back to front. As I explained, it's YouTube being really, really annoying with the functionality of their live screen. Adnan says, Salaam alaikum, my friend. I really like your reviews. Thank you very much indeed. Very kind of you to say so. Willie says, hi, I'm glad you tuned in. Thank you very much. Peggy, greetings from Malaysia. You flipped your screen. No, it's YouTube, but don't worry. Well, yeah, you need to practice your mirror writing, or maybe put a mirror in front of your screen and then you'll see me properly. Gunmetal, morning from Vancouver. Fantastic. I love how we just span the globe. We've already got Vancouver all the way to Singapore. It's just amazing. Although Gunmetal says, I'm originally from Malaysia too. Why am I not seeing these comments? Ode Berlin, hi from Berlin, very muggy Berlin. Okay, so like here, Christine says, I agree, Hidden was my least favorite of the three. Okay. What about Bumblebee, says Reza. I run on warp 10 when I see one. Well, that's fine, because I don't think this perfume will necessarily be attracting any bumblebees. Forever Fragrant Kid says, hello back to you. Thank you very much for commenting and tuning in. Gunmetal, I missed out on the early part. Bertrand Duchefort was the nose for Hidden, yes. It's Bertrand Duchefort for Hidden and Mathieu Nardin for Lost and Wonder. I keep forgetting the name of that one. And look, you're saying hello to each other as well, which is great. Twin Thing Custom Motorcycle says, hi, who are you? Sorry, do I know you? Siak de Vries says, feel free to take the t-shirt off. If it's so muggy, make the ladies happy. No, that will not be happening. And Peggy says, the Miller Harris project is intriguing. I had doubts about it. Visions of people jumping into dustbins and skips. No, what they're actually doing is looking for things growing in the cracks between pavements. It's intriguing, actually. I was given a book as well, written by a forager. And it's just fascinating. I keep thinking, well, you could probably make a meal out of everything that's in your garden, but then you'd be worried about whether the stuff that you're taking into your, putting into your soup is poisonous. Like, for example, apparently magnolia flowers are edible. Pardon me if you guys already knew this stuff, but I certainly didn't. Apparently magnolia trees are edible and they taste like ginger. So, I don't know, go figure. Who knew? I certainly didn't. And we have a magnolia tree in, Le Jardin Persolaise, which is just a few steps away from this room. Where did I get to? Daniela says, first time joining live from Houston, Texas. Fantastic. This is just amazing. Twin Thing, who are these Twin Thing people? They just keep leaving comments saying rude. I have no idea. Does anyone know who they are? I have no idea. Maybe we should check out their channel to see what sort of things they post. Maybe it's motorcycle videos. I don't know. Just a wild guess. And Iris says, hello from Ontario, Canada. Hello back. Have I tried Lalique Ombre Noir, says Reza Cologne. Do you mean Ombre Noir or Encre Noir? We're gonna stick to the topic here. I'm gonna put my teacher mode on, Reza, and say we're gonna stick to what's here. And Peggy says magnolia is used in Chinese cuisine. Okay, fantastic. I didn't know that. And does it taste gingery? And can I just wait until next year when my magnolia blossoms appear and just pick them off the tree, and if I get ill, can I hold you responsible? Okay, I think that just about covers all of the comments. Apologies to anybody that I may have missed out. A very, very quick explanation. I don't normally, as you know, do... Reza says Ombre Noir is their new release. Then, no, pass. Wasn't even aware of it. I don't normally do one video so soon after the previous one, but because I wasn't able to do one in June, and because my summer perfume break is coming up, I thought I'll do this one, and then at the end of the... I can't even get my sentences out because I keep seeing comments flashing here. Sorry, right, what was I saying? This will be the last one before I take my summer perfume break. So you will probably not be seeing very much of me in August. The next Love at First Scent, the full-length Love at First Scent, will probably be at the end of August or beginning of September. However, all being well, I'm planning to do a very, very brief one this Friday morning on Instagram Live to coincide with the release of 3 new scents from Chanel. My written review of those 3 new scents should appear on the blog on persolaise.com on Friday. And as I say, if the stars align and I'm able to do it, I will try to do a sort of 15-20 minute Instagram live on the new scents from Chanel on Friday. And then that video will end up on YouTube as well. So if you can't tune in live on Instagram on Friday, don't worry. The video should end up on YouTube in due course. Phew. I think we should smell another perfume. And what I would like to do is try something, not only a new perfume, or perfume that's new to me, but a completely new brand, and a really, really intriguing new brand. So if any of you are aware of this brand or have tried their work, I almost hesitate to call it a brand, as you will find out when I start reading bits of their press material to you. But how can I show you something about them? I had these samples that arrived a little while ago in these rather interesting... Oh, I've just realized you're going to see this in reverse. Sorry. Although if you're watching after the live thing, you will not be seeing it in reverse and you'll be wondering what the heck I'm talking about. This says, making sense of nonsense. And it is from a brand called Folie A Plusieurs, art house perfumery. And I was contacted by the founder of this brand, a chap called, but his name is spelled Kaya. I don't know whether you pronounce that Kaya or Kaya. I actually automatically assumed that it was a woman because to me, Kaya has always been a woman's name, but I believe it's a man, not that it matters. And it says here, founder and creative director of Folie A Plusieurs, and got in touch with me and said that he would like to send me some samples, to which I did my usual thing where I said, okay, I'd love to try your work, but you must understand I reserve the right to do negative reviews, and most people say, yes, that's fine. But it sounded intriguing because some of these perfumes that they release as well are very directly inspired by specific films. For instance, there was one inspired by the film Holy Motors, one by La Grande Bellezza, one by the Almodovar movie Talk to Her, and some of you will be aware that cinema is a huge passion of mine as well. So I thought, okay, this is interesting. I went on their website and I saw that they use some of the world's top perfumers to create their scents. So I started getting more and more intrigued, but I have yet to try any of their scents. And I thought, Love at First Scent is the perfect forum in which to do so. You've all gone quiet again, so I'm guessing this means maybe you haven't tried their work. I honestly don't know where to turn. This one is really intriguing that I have behind the scenes here, because it comes in a plastic pouch, which I've already sort of pre-prepared. You had to sort of cut it with scissors. And there is a kind of blurb on the pouch itself. It says, warning, please use responsibly. This is not a perfume, this is a performance. This is not a smell, this is an erotic impulse. This fragrance should be used strictly for the purpose of creating sexual arousal. I can just see the YouTube bots now kind of panicking, going, age restriction, or for experiencing new forms of sensuality. So we could go for this one. What do you think? Do you think YouTube might be able to take it? I don't know. That and the suggestion of me taking my shirt off. Mind you, that would be a good tonic, because I think me taking my shirt off would bring the tone right down. Then I've got the film ones. I've got the Talk to Her. I've got La Grande Bellezza, and I've got Holy Motors. Incidentally, Holy Motors is the only one of those films that I haven't seen. I don't know whether that matters. I've got something called, I don't even know if these are the names. I mean, it's all quite odd, you know, these see-through plastic pouches. This one says site-specific installation. It's got the word Ghost Black, site number 1, but is that the perfume's name? Who knows? Does it matter? I need to make a decision, and you guys aren't helping. I've got one called, Enter the Void, as in from the film, okay. And then these are weird names as well. Telefonicophilia, somnophilia, and mechanophilia. I'm scared to do the one that's meant to be the rude one, although I'm also really intrigued. I would love to know. Oda Berlin says Bellezza. Can we try that one? Love the film. Okay, as that was the first suggestion, we will go with that. I think that was the first suggestion. I would have said let's do Almodovar. But no, you got there first. Forever Fragrant Kid, you were just like 3 seconds too slow. You said Ghost Black, but maybe we'll do Ghost Black as well at the end of the episode. Let's go for Bellezza. I know nothing about this perfume, and I know, like I said, I know almost nothing about the brand. Oh, and I'm going to need my scissors again. Right, where did I put them? Excuse me. No worries, says Forever Fragrant Kid. Very kind. Thank you very much. Okay, let's cut into this. By the way, do look up Grande Bellezza on IMDb, a film well worth your time. Very, very highly regarded. Was there a controversy because it didn't win the Oscar for Best Foreign Film? I can't remember. I think there was some kind of controversy about it, but I must admit, I don't think I was quite as taken with the movie as lots of people were, but I was impressed with it. It's this kind of, it's a love story to Rome, really, Rome through the ages. And it's got this picaresque plot that just sort of weaves from one incident to another, which is basically another way of saying picaresque, sorry. But it just seems to wander semi-aimlessly. But the kind of guiding thread of it all, the uniting thread, is just a love of Rome and the spirit of Rome. So maybe we're going to get something Italianate here. So this is La Grande Bellezza from Folie A Plusieurs, and then we'll find out a little bit more about the brand, because they have a manifesto which I have deliberately not read yet. I thought we might discover it together. Okay. Oh wow. Okay. Now you see, that instantly grabs my attention in the way that Hidden just didn't at all. But what's it doing? It's seems to be both powdery and leathery, both sort of charcoaly and white. So black and white, soft and hard, rough, nocturnal and daytime. It's fascinating. It's immediately kind of drawing these binary oppositions. Quite a pronounced leather note, and I suppose on a very simplistic level you could associate leather with Italy, with Rome, with the fashionistas. Nice kind of citrus note at the top, but see, this is the sometimes dubious thing with perfumery, because I know that the film is a sort of homage to a place. I immediately start kind of going down the route of thinking, is this evoking a place? And that might cause me to have a kind of olfactory equivalent of tunnel vision, whereby I then don't see other things that the perfume might be. But I am getting a sense of a place. I'm getting a sense of something timeless. And there is a sort of twilight quality to it as well. Like I said, it's not quite day, it's not quite night. It's elegant. And it's quite complex. If there's a kind of single particular note that I'm getting, I suppose it would be leather, but there is a lot more going on. Do any of you know this, by the way? I mean, I think they are based in New York, so some of you who are out in the States, have you come across this brand at all? And it feels like it's going to go into a very flinty sort of. Forever Fragrant Kid says, no, thank you very much. I mean, I confess I hadn't heard of them either until the founder contacted me. And it's also the right side of weird. There is a kind of suggestion of originality to it. It doesn't smell mainstream, but it's not out there in the same. Oh, Gunmetal says there's quite a few houses based in NYC. Okay, I mean, I suppose there's quite a lot of everything in New York, isn't there? I mean, it is quite a happening sort of place, to which I have never been, actually. I must cross the Atlantic one day and make it to the States. Yeah, I was saying, it feels like it might go into a kind of flinty, mineral dry down. Possibly vetiver. Intriguing. I would want to wear this. I would want to explore this further. Right. Hopefully the technology won't let me down now, because I want to see if I can actually tell you a little bit more about it. Oh, Peggy also said do the sexy one. Yeah, maybe we'll have to at the end, and then YouTube will just explode. Right, okay. Where was I? Hang on, because I'm trying to get this actually from their. They have. I did notice that the manifesto was very long, and I thought, okay, we can't read the whole thing, but we could at least maybe try and get the spirit of it. Right. So it starts with a longish blurb. Maybe that's all we'll read. The manifesto is the shared psychosis of scent. I like the idea of perfume being a psychosis. Like many works of art, the most compelling fragrances are subversive. Yeah, certainly a lot of compelling fragrances are subversive. They don't always have to be subversive, though. In challenging the limits of our palate, they inscribe new entries into the inventories of our taste and ultimately alter the way that we will forever navigate this life by way of nose. Okay, so far so good. When a perfume is conceived with true artistic intent, it has the potential to expand our emotions, our intellect, and our cultural understandings. True enough. I'm liking this so far. Is it just me? Am I being like seduced by artsy fartsy pretentiousness? Or with this philosophy, La Folie A Plusieurs, the madness of many, thank you very much for the translation, brings together the mediums of scent to call attention to a moment, live beyond the walls of museums, trace the steps of movement, transcribe invisible notes, and as a device to broaden the way that we experience art and everyday life. Our aim is to expand the cultural value of fragrance, its use, and relationship to our human experience. So not trying to be very ambitious then. Okay, that's fine. Play it safe, why don't you? The manifesto. This says an incomplete manifesto, and I will give it. Peggy says, finally, a good copywriter. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. That was actually beautifully written, and it made sense. I'm not going to give a complete reading of this manifesto because I think we'd be here for a while otherwise. For life, creativity, madness, and contemporary perfumery. The medium. Perfume is a medium. Use it like the hammer that extends the arms and the wheel that extends the legs. Use. Perfume should not be used as an accessory to the body, but an accessory to the mind. They are not to be worn by you, but should live through you. I want to meet this guy. Seeing. Don't see a perfume as they are, see them as you are. Whatever story a fragrance company tries to tell you, okay, typo, tries to tell you about a fragrance, know that it is incomplete without its lead character, you. Addiction. Here's that word again that we're seeing used a lot in relation to perfumery. A good perfume is a narcotic, highly addictive and subversive. Like an illegal substance or conspiracy, it is restricted by commercial perfumery, but finds its light in darkness and its place amongst the rebellious. Seek them out. We are here, and you will be embraced. I almost wondered if I was going to say you will be assimilated. Is that the Borg? Did they say assimilated? I'm not a Star Trek fan. I do Star Wars and I do Doctor Who, but I don't do Star Trek. Did the Borg say assimilated? Peggy says, liking all of this so far, even the overused addiction. Yeah, I can go along with this. Anyway, it does go on and on and on and on. And I'm not going to read all of it. There's one section on branding. Less branding, the better. No branding, the best. If the branding deteriorates over time in itself, it becomes a performance. If it disappears, it's a work of art or even cooler, magic. Let people follow you for the meaning and experience of the brand and products, not only for the image. Wishful thinking maybe, but noble intentions. If you remove your brand name and logo from your products or shop, they should still be identifiable. Now there's an intriguing concept. Would we still, for example, recognize a few products if they didn't have their logo? Yeah, that's an interesting one. Yeah, like I said, noble aspirations. And it goes on. There's a section called pain. Get your heart broken, and if you survive, break it again. The deeper the grief, the closer you will come to the true creative yearnings of the heart. There's a section called honesty, accountability, understanding, distribution, sales. Okay, and it just keeps going and going. So what I shall try to do now is maybe see if I can find something about the one that we've smelt. So they've done one on. Oh, here we go. Grande Bellezza. Oh, I see. There's also one on the lobster. Broken Embraces, La Haine. Interesting. I am intrigued. This person obviously loves Almodovar. There's loads based on movies. Moon on the Verge of a Nervous Break, The Duke of Burgundy. Oh, I am intrigued. How many of you out there, by the way, are big cinema fans? I wonder how often cinema, passion for cinema. Can you post the link to their website up, please? Okay, yeah, sure, I can do that at the end when I kind of fix up the video on YouTube. I will try to do that. Right, La Grande Bellezza. Oh, is that all we get? Okay, I've just clicked on it, and just a few words come up. It says, it smells like old values of sophistication and contemporaneity re-examined in a new novel. I have a feeling there should be more. But no, maybe not. And there's a very, very brief notes list. Petit Grain from Paraguay, mandarin, lavender, vetiver, tonka, oak moss. Okay. It's good stuff though. It's a kind of smoky vetiver that doesn't seem to be heading the way of sweatiness, the way a lot of vetivers do. I think maybe we should break with tradition today, and maybe at the end of the video come back and do another one. I think we're all intrigued by the sex one, so how about we do that one last? There is a classic pick for today as well, which I will do. I think that the classic one will be perfume number 4. So let us go for number 3. And I thought maybe we'll go from the kind of cutting edge of perfumery as art to something super mainstream. So how are your reverse reading skills today? This is a new one from D&G, from Dolce & Gabbana, keeping the Italian theme though, and it's called Velvet Incenso, and it's part of their textile fabric range. I'm not sure what they call it. It comes in a rather stylish coffret like this. I keep an open mind about releases from every brand, and rather special presentation. I just hope it's not going to be all downhill from now. I should say, I'm not the world's biggest fan of this range, but as I said, keep an open mind. How brilliant would this be if this turned out to be my favourite perfume of the year this year? Because you never know. You never know. The next one you spray may turn out to be your favourite perfume of that year, and maybe even your favourite perfume of all time. That's why this is so exciting. You just never know what you're going to get in that box of chocolates. Okay, right. Let's get a blotter. Velvet and incense is intriguing combination. Okay. Can you see that there? Actually, this does start really well. Damn it. Ooh, it's a really, really nice incense note to start with. It's actually like one of the best incense notes I've smelled for a long time to open a perfume with. But what's interesting is that it's sweet. If you are the sort of people who have tuned in to a live perfume broadcast, I know for a fact you will all have a favorite incense perfume. Adam says, good afternoon, Mr. Persolaise. A very good afternoon to you as well. Let me just make sure I haven't missed any more comments, because I need to bring... I feel like I need to have 4 different screens here. One for press releases. No, I don't think I've missed any comments. So, what was I saying? If you're the sort of person who's tuned into a live broadcast on perfume, you will have a favorite incense scent, because that's one of those. Okay, here we go. Favorite incense, Kyoto. And you know what? My favorite incense is from the same Comme Des Garcons range, and it's Avignon. And somebody just said, good evening from Stockholm. Sorry I'm late. Yeah. Give me 100 lines. I'll never be late again. Avignon. Yeah, me too. Me too. No, we've got incense, favorite incense, Timbuktu. Do you realize? I think all of the ones you've mentioned so far are by Bertrand Duchaufour. I can't remember whether Kyoto is by Duchaufour. Certainly Avignon and Timbuktu. Devotion by House of Matriarch. I need to check that one out. I don't know that one. And we've got Passage d'Enfer, which, Angeline, that is really spooky. I almost made that my classic choice for today. Beautiful, beautiful perfume, of course, by Olivia Jacobetti. Gunmetal says, favorite incense, Nila Vermeer's Traillis. Okay, do you consider that to be an incense? I mean, it's an amazing perfume, no doubt about it. And then somebody says, Comme Des Garcons Two Man. Stay tuned. And Bill says that this on my desk is a nice woody incense as well. Yeah, kind of. I wouldn't say it's like a favorite of mine. But my favorite is Avignon. I also love Incense Extreme from Andy Tower, from Tower Perfumes. I love Passage d'Enfer. I love, I always forget which of the Jubilations is the more incensey one, but it's the one that's sort of marketed as the men's one, whether it's, they're both Jubilation 25, but one has the 25 written in Roman numerals. I think it's the Roman numerals one that's the incensey one, so I think it's Jubilation XXV. Gunmetal says, try incense, saffron, and sandalwood to me, but it's not an incense soliflora, I guess. No, I think that's what I meant. I mean, it is an amazing scent. It's probably still Neil Vermeer's best scent. Christine says, Healy's Cardinal. Yes, I remember smelling that one for the first time a long time ago. So we love incense, you know, that is probably the kind of thing that separates us from the sort of poor souls out there who don't appreciate perfume the way we do. We love incense. We can't get enough of incense. And this incense note from the Dolce & Gabbana, Forever Fragrances says, sorry, try again. Forever Fragrant Kid says, I need to try Traillis. Yes, you do. And Adam says, Encens Flamboyant is good too from Annick Goutal. Yes, but I really don't like the dry down on that one. I don't know whether it's been reformulated, but the dry down really, really kind of sticks in the back of my throat, and I can't get on with it. Maybe they have done something to it, because there are certainly lots of fans of it out there. This is Velvet Incenso from Dolce & Gabbana, and so far I'm impressed by its incense note, and also by the fact that it is kind of sweet. It's almost as though they've married it with something vanillic. Gunmetal is saying, I also love Serge Lutein's Fille en Aiguille, Plum Forest Incense. Do you mean plum or pine? You probably mean pine, don't you? Because it is very, very piney. Or maybe you mean plum, I don't know, but I would have said pine. Yes, that's a strong incense. And I also loved the now discontinued Sahara Noir from Tom Ford. That was a really, really filthy incense, and the incense note here almost reminds me of that, except it's been made tamer. I would imagine Madame Persolaise is going to go for this one. Right, let's have a look at their press release. So yes, so far it's incense, incense, incense. It's like you're in a church, mass is going on, the priest has just been round with the censer, but also somebody in the corner is like having a kind of vanilla panna cotta or something, or really, really vanillic marshmallows, and you're getting the smell of both of them. So you have got, this is the idea, isn't it? This is the concept. You have got the sacred and the profane. You have got the saintly and the sinful. That just describes all of us perfume aficionados, doesn't it? So I have got a little bit of a press release on this. Blending notes of Oriental perfumery with the finest Italian ingredients, Dolce & Gabbana Velvet Collection, that's it, that's the name, celebrates the unique history of Arab Sicily with a fine selection of Oriental blends. The journey began with tender oud and desert oud. It continued with amber skin and amber sun. Today, with Velvet Incenso, the collection offers a modern interpretation of the most ancient and mystical ingredient of perfumery, incense. A dark, mysterious veil, fluttering over honey-hued stones in the Mediterranean light, fragrant smoke blending with the plumes rising from the majestic Mount Etna. There's been a lot of danger in today's episode, hasn't there? We've either got volcanoes exploding or sexual disaster. For centuries, volutes of burning incense have risen from the palaces of Sicily. In Velvet Incenso, the perfumers Cécile Maton and Julie Massé turn the complex facets of the age-old ingredient, also known as olibanum, into a glittering mosaic of sizzling resins. Vibrant incense essence is set alight by a spark of black pepper essence. Yeah, go along with that. Obtained from a cutting-edge extraction that preserves the aroma of a freshly crunched peppercorn. Peggy, 2 good press releases in a row. Something is going wrong. This is because this is actually a pretty good press release as well. With its citrus and pepper facets, LME essence echoes these opening notes, its resinous burn introducing the darker heart of the fragrance. The Orient and the Mediterranean world meet as incense resinoid, more balsamic and intense than the essence. Wow, technical details from a Dolce Gabbanna press release. Who would have expected that? Smolders over Cistus Absolute, an ambery resin drawn from typical trees of Sicilian hillsides. Peggy says, I know that, so I'm so quiet. I know. I mean, great for me. Benzoin resinoid adds its cinnamon and vanilla sweetness. Okay, so there's the vanillic edge. Smooth patchouli essence and powerful amber wood. There's no such thing as amber wood, but we'll go along with that. They probably mean some kind of ambery synthetic. Extend the magical trail of velvet Incenso deep into the night. Okay, we'll give them a little bit of purple prose there towards the end. But this is good stuff. This is actually good. Like, what if it does end up being one of my favorite perfumes of the year? I'm going to wear this. I shall take this away with me. Or maybe I will give it to Madame Persolaise. She does like wearing incense perfumes, but she also likes smelling them on me. So we shall have to decide. And then the rest of it, okay, the rest of it is just to do with the Velvet collection, which, do you know what? I had no idea it was so extensive. Willie says, does that one look like L'Odyssée, please? This is a new Issey Miyake for men. It's another version of Unedited, and it's called Noir Argent. We might have time to look at it, we might not. I just put it there because I kind of thought it looked good. The Velvet collection from D&G is huge. I had no idea. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 20 odd perfumes, from velvet exotic leather to velvet mimosa bloom, velvet love, velvet wood, velvet pure. Okay, well, we don't need to worry about those so much, but this could be love at first scent, people. Take another good look at the bottle in reverse. This may turn out to be one of my favorites of the year, which will probably be the first time that one of my favorites of the year has been from Dolce & Gabbana. Not that I'm wishing the next few months away, because anything could happen between now and December, which is when I make my end of year list, but this is good stuff. Now, this isn't very well planned, because actually, hang on, comments. Adam says, check for Grantica, 18 velvet scents from D&G. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I believe it. That press release seems to suggest so. And Willie says, the one that looked like L'Odyssée. I'm not sure what you mean now, Willie. Do you mean that one? Because that is the Issey Miyake. And Forever Fragrant Kid also says, filthy incense. I love that description. Yeah, but incense can be really, really animalic. When obviously it's made to be that way. Olibanum itself, the oil, is super clean. It doesn't last very long, which is why that'll be the interesting thing with this one, how long lasting it is. Don't forget, by the way, that I always, sort of about 4 or 5 hours after the initial spray, I do a little blotter update in the comments below, because we know we mustn't judge a perfume on an initial sniff. Now, what was I saying about poor planning? We're kind of going into another incensey scent, because my classic pick for today is one that we have already mentioned, so brace yourselves, people. It is Two Man from Comme Des Garcons by Mark Buxton. Still probably the best Comme des Garcons perfume out there, maybe with the exception of Avignon. It would be for me a toss-up between this one and Avignon. There are going to be lots of fans of this one out there now, so come on, don't be shy. Tell me if you love this one. I already know that one of you does, but I forget who it was. Was it Bill? I can't remember, and the system won't let me go back enough now. Or maybe now it is letting me go back. Oh, God, I give up. Who was it? Let's find out. No, Bill said Avignon. So who said... S. Onde said Comme des Garçons 2 Man. So if you're still watching, Oh, David says it was me with a different sign-in name. What are you doing? Confusing us with two different sign-in names. Please stick to one online identity. The world is confusing enough as it is. Uh, Adam said, I sold my bottle because of a bad association. What with this? Oh no, that's such a shame if you have a bad association. Reassociate it with something good. This is like one of the best things ever. Um, don't worry. Can you see how little there is in there? I do have another bottle that hasn't been opened yet, so it's fine. We're good. This one I know fantastic on paper. Well, no, it's fine on paper, but it doesn't really fully bloom on paper. Bill says I liked it as well. Cool. Adam says, but I found a better one from CDG, Zagorsk. Do you like Zagorsk? I'm not so sure. Yeah, I mean, the incense line is great. And Forever Fragrant Kid says, I need to sniff that again. It's been too long. Yeah. Everybody needs this in their collection. So here we go. And I'm already shivering with anticipatory pleasure at the thought of that. It's just that snuffed candle. It's really, really something, and it is like a snuffed candle. The one of these sort of notes on the official list notes is white smoke, and I guess what they mean is the smoke after a candle has been snuffed out. There was a really, really great line. I have a feeling I've mentioned this. I need to hang out. Do you mean with men? I need to hang out hard men, Becky says. Or do you mean around? Okay. I need to hang around men who smell a lot more adventurous. Or maybe not. You can just be the adventurous one, and so then you will stand out and everybody will gravitate towards you. I think I may have mentioned this on these episodes before, but I'm pretty sure there was a line in a Hollinghurst novel, I forget which one, where he said that for centuries, the very last smell that people must have smelt before going to sleep every single night was the smell of a snuffed out candle. Because, of course, that is how they would have been lighting their spaces, their interiors, before the arrival of electricity. So you would have a candle, and then you would snuff it out, and you'd go to sleep. And that would be the last smell, probably, that you were conscious of before going to sleep every single day. And there's something quite primal, powerful, beautiful about that image. And maybe that's why this scent, to man, Adam says that's what I do every night. Oh, really? Still? Well, as in just like a scented candle, or you just don't want to pay for electricity? There is something both incredibly... Sorry, I've just seen that comment from Demirel. Carbon monoxide poisoning for a deeper sleep. Well, some people have Horlicks or hot milk. We go for good old CO. Just a normal candle. Fine. It is extremely calming, extremely soothing, extremely tranquil, dangerous, because it does still have that association with heat, with a flame. It is both the promise of the heat of fire, and also the tranquility, I guess, that comes after the fire has been put out. David says, to me, Avignon is like sitting on the aisle during Mass, completely, totally and utterly. To man is like entering the church after Mass is over. That's a fantastic description, actually. That's a really, really, really good description. I don't get church from this one particularly. I completely get church from Avignon, and I say this as someone who has a great deal of experience of attending Catholic Mass. No, but this one makes me think of... This one might make me think of a monastery. When if you visit a monastery, the sort of cold stone. Actually, I went into a setting like that yesterday for... Well, no, but that was a church, so maybe it did make me think of a church. So maybe I do go along with your description, actually. No, but this one doesn't. But this one doesn't make me think of Mass. Okay, we'll say that. It does make me think sometimes of going into an old church or a church-like building with the thick walls, with the stone, with that particular coolness that comes from the stone structure. But it doesn't make me think of Mass. there isn't a huge amount of movement here, whereas for me, Mass is something with a lot of movement. This is a lot more tranquil. This is the night, um, and it is just stunning. It is probably the very best thing, one of the best things certainly that Mark Buxton has ever done. When I interviewed him, he said he was particularly proud of this, um, and he said, putting aside modesty, he does think it's one of the best perfumes of recent years, and I am totally happy to agree with him. It was released in 2004, so actually, in the grand scheme of things, not that long ago, but it has become a modern classic. It's just a shame that Comme des Garcons don't do the extra products that they did with it, because they did a fantastic shower gel. I think they did a candle. For all I know, they may have done other things. I think they also did a kind of weird body. It was meant to be like a body oil or something like that, but that wasn't quite so good because that used to flake on your skin, so it looked like you were, a sort of reject from a Doctor Who episode about, reptiles shedding their skin. Official notes are things like white smoke, nutmeg, cumin, leather, vetiver, incense, but in the field of sort of ecclesiastical perfumes, in which I would also include the original Gucci pour Homme from Michel Almerac, from the Tom Ford era. This is high up there as one of those really, really fantastic scents. I missed a few comments. Adam says, did Buxton do the CDG2 EDP2, the inky one? Do you mean the one that's like in the silver reflective bottle? The one that's like a strange otherworldly rose? Because if that is the one that you mean, yes, he did. And that's also a superb scent, I think. And then somebody says, is it anything like Unum? Not sure. I'd have to check that one, actually. And then some of you are having a conversation amongst yourselves, which is fine. And yeah, the silver one, Adam says, yeah, that's a fantastic scent as well. And I think you can still get the candle of that particular one. And it works extremely well as a candle. Okay, so this is the point in the proceedings at which I sort of start saying my goodbyes just before we smell our final perfume. You have been watching, although we're not done yet, you have been watching episode 18 of Love at First Scent on YouTube Live with me, Persolaise. Please feel free to leave a question at the end of the live broadcast. I will try to get round to all of the questions. Please give me thumbs up if you so wish. Please subscribe to my channel. If you are watching this after the fact after the live broadcast on Facebook, please feel free to leave a question there as well. This is going to be the last of these full-length Love at First Scent broadcasts until at the very earliest, the end of August, probably beginning of September. So, I hope you all have a great summer, because I won't be seeing much of you, except, like I said a few minutes ago, if all goes well, I hope to do a brief-ish episode on Instagram Live this Friday morning to coincide with the release of 3 new Chanels. And a few hours after I'm done with this episode, I will post a blotter update to tell you how they're doing. But now the moment has come. I think we need to get dirty, because I think we ought to try this sexual beast performance thing. This is, how I was sort of worried about the D&G, and it turned out that it was actually pretty good. This one will probably turn out to be a letdown. Forever Fragrant Kid says, we've done Incenso, let's do Filthy now. Yeah, calm down. Okay, shall I just do this on skin? Shall I go for it and do this on skin? If I can even get it out of the... I'd love to know what it's called. Oh, yeah, I think this is the name. Stigmato filler. If it all goes horribly wrong, contact the authorities, okay? Just let me get the information up so that I can... Oh, I don't even know which one it is. Whether does it come under performance or film? Oh dear. This brand, this is Folie A Plusieurs now, okay? They have got lots of perfumes already. No, Ghost number 1, not that one. I'm just looking through, my tablet here. Well, perhaps there won't be anything about this one. So much the better. Nope. Nope. Nothing about it. So let us. Okay, we're doing this. Okay, I must be doing sex all wrong then. This smells really clean. It smells quite happy. Oh, I suppose it's good that it smells happy. Peggy says tomato filler. What do you mean? I missed that. What was the tomato filler in relation to? I'll tell you what though, there is a... Oh, Angeline says underperformance. Did you find it, underperformance? Okay, well then, Angeline, could you please do some homework for me now and just find out what it's supposed to be? Although I'm guessing there's not going to be much more than there is here. The name is Stigmato filler, Peggy. Okay, there is a... I'm going to be stuck wearing this all for the rest of the day now, aren't I? There is a suggestion of something semen-like coming through now, a little bit in the style of Sécrétion Magnifique from État Libre d'Orange, but don't worry, it is nowhere near as... I so don't want to say in your face, it is nowhere near as pronounced as it is in that particular scent. Something leathery, but something also really, really bright and sharp, citrusy. You know, it doesn't smell particularly kinky or dangerous or scary. I have to go to the post office after this, so who knows, maybe I shall be attacked by a random mob because it'll have some sort of an effect on people. Let me just read that again. Please use responsibly. This is not a perfume, this is a performance, this is not a smell, this is an erotic impulse. This fragrance should be used strictly for the purpose of creating sexual arousal or for experiencing new forms of sensuality. The ingredients apparently are lemon peel, cardamom. Okay, well that'll be the coolness. Clove, whiskey, steel metal. So that could be the sort of cold, chilled feel I picked up. Mace oil, leather, tobacco, and cedar. A sexuo-erotic arousal triggered by body piercings and tattoos. Or actually, a very, very pleasant, clean, woody, cedary scent with a cool, spicy top. Phew, we can breathe a sigh of relief. We're not going to get an X rating or an 18 rating for this episode after all. I'm kind of relieved, actually. I was worried where this was going to go. What are some of the filthiest scents you can think of, by the way? I mean, that definitely isn't it. But the things like, you know, Dior's Oud Isfahan come to mind, or L'Artisan's Al Oud. Okay, let's do a final little blotter roundup before I bid you farewell. We started with the one from Miller Harris with Hidden. I keep forgetting what they're called. And... okay, maybe doing... Oh, Musc Ravageur, says Christine. Yeah, that's quite naughty as well. Quite nice too, though. Always gets compliments, that one. Hidden. Right, to give it its due, it does seem to be doing something a little bit more yellow and pollen-like now, a little bit drier. Almost like a kind of tannin quality, a sort of red wine quality. So I think maybe I need to give Monsieur de Chauffour the benefit of the doubt and give this one a proper wearing. But it's still not, it doesn't quite draw you in so much. I don't know what it is about it that it sort of feels a little bit flat. Then we tried, what was that? Grande Bellezza from, I'll come back to that one, Bill. The Grande Bellezza actually has gone a little bit less grande and a lot less bellezza. Maybe a little bit simplistic now. A lot of vetiver perfumes cannot get away from vetiverishness. And so if they're going to have a vetiver dry down, that's kind of all they offer. Because vetiver has a kind of tipping point at at first when it's being used in a in a formula, there's a supporting player, but then after this tipping point, it overwhelms everything else, and so you end up with a vetiver perfume with maybe some kind of different twist. Um, but the mossiness is interesting in the Grande Bellezza, but no, it doesn't have quite the sort of promise that I thought it might. Then we had the unexpected delight of the Dolce and Gabbana, the Velvet Incenso, which is really nice actually. Really, really. It's still got that incense tendrils flowing through chunks of marshmallow. It's interesting. Nicely done. Very, very nicely done. The classic, which we only just did a few minutes ago anyway, was it's so good. And there's something also about the Comme des Garcons that's soapy, like a really expensive, elegant soap that you want to sort of, steal from a five-star hotel. Just beautiful. And the Sexual Predator. Yeah, there is the weird thing about it is this metallic edge. So it's a kind of citrus top, woody heart with intrigue thrown in through a kind of metallic note, which maybe shares a few facets with semen. But no, I don't think I'm going to get arrested walking down the street now. So we had a few responses to what is some of your filthiest scents. Muscravageur, we said 50,000 d'ambiguïté. I don't know how to say it. So 50 pure stink. Yes, you're right, but isn't it good though? I reviewed it on the blog a few weeks ago, so check that out. Reza says, is that the old Muscravageur that is dirty? The reformulated one is sweet with vanilla. I've always kind of thought of it as being quite sweet. I don't know, because it is basically an update on Shalimar. Then we had Sam Grant 83, Liquide Imaginaire Peau de Bête. That's pretty out there, yes, but beautifully done as well. Adam says, not filthy, but I find Francis Kurkdjian's oud, cashmere, and silk mood disgusting. Fair enough. Even though I'm a fan of hardcore scents, okay? Kouros. Oh, well done for mentioning Kouros, Angelina. And how great is it that they still are making Kouros for those of us who love it? And it still pretty much smells the same, I think. Siak de Vries says, Peau de Bête is roadkill on a hot summer day. Would you know? Because I certainly wouldn't, but we like it anyway. Sam Grant, ghastly on paper but rather fine on skin, so hang on, that is the Peau de Bête. Yeah, agreed. Musc Tonquin, says Christine P. Bill says, I ordered a sample of the ambiguity after reading your review. Okay, in which case that means you know I reviewed it. Thank you very much, by the way, for doing that. Peggy says, Bulgari for Men, the original, discontinued now. Ah, the memories. Ooh, I don't think I remember that one. M. Mink, or MM Ink, yes, from Byredo. Yeah, I love that perfume, but I think I would first put it in the category of weird rather than filthy. But yes, beautiful, beautiful piece of work. Bill, going back to ambiguity, said, I made 4 people around me smell it. They all puked, almost. That's what we're here for. After you've put on a perfume and you almost make 4 people puke, that's when you know that your job for that day is done. And I think that is a perfect note, boys and girls, on which to end the 18th episode of Love at First Scent. Thank you very much for tuning in. Have a really great summer, whatever it is that you're doing, and I will probably be back with more fun and games. Oh, hang on, a question. Mr. Persolaise, is there a review of yours on the internet regarding MFK's Grand Soir? It is my favourite scent ever. The answer to that is no. Because I know that it came out at the same time as Petit Matin, but no, I haven't reviewed them yet. Thank you very much for the thank yous that are coming through. Thank you very much for tuning in. It really means a lot to me that you interact and take the time to write comments and give me all the thumbs up and everything. I'm very, very appreciative and grateful, but I shall now leave you in peace. So be good, and I shall see you soon.